DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Agency, has known for a long time that uh, ancient technologies and ancient wisdom and understanding and having reverence for ancient technologies is critical when developing the technology of the future. And one of the biggest issues today is the fact that people who are using AI are not using it with respect. Metaphorically speaking, when it comes to the art of music, for instance, not understanding acoustic drums makes it, in a lot of ways, difficult to really even be in sync with your own soul, because there is a rhythm to the universe. It says in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. And a lot of elite organizations also gatekeep the fact that the vibratory rate of divinity is a particular frequency, but it's not just about manifesting. It's not so simplistic. Um, if you could actually know in advance exactly what you're trying to manifest, that's the hubris that gets in the way of people understanding quantum physics and more abstract ideas. And so any new technology is 100% reliant on its opposite. And so whatever a new technology, quote unquote, makes obsolete, it actually depends much more intensely upon that thing. Like, take, for instance, Spotify. Spotify, in a strange, paradoxical way, really depends on analog forms of music and physical media like vinyl, digital, mini disc, cassettes. And that's why there's a revival coming back of those media, because despite the efficiency and convenience of the new technology, what's actually happening is people are not appreciating. It's hurting people's quality of life in a pretty drastic way. And now I'm kind of going on an abstract discussion, but sound is a particular kind of light in a way. And so I wrote my thesis in college about certainty and contradiction and mathematical logic and philosophy of language. And if you think about it, the ultimate truth is that there is nothing you can know beyond the limits of your language. And so critically understanding that which is unknown and breaking barriers and making discoveries actually depends on philosophical, logical understanding, developing new concepts, and the ability to think critically. And what most people never realize is that basically Wittgenstein and Gödel separately proved, when it comes to mathematical logic, essentially that your very ability to be certain of anything, even a very concrete mathematical concept, like if you have a doorway that is 15 inches wide, that is only true within the context of the language game within which it was generated. And Gödel's proof proved that every arithmetic proof necessarily generates statements within the proof that are true according to the proof, but cannot be actually proven by the proof. So you start creating contradictions out of certainty. So your ability to be certain of anything at all, especially in a subjective sense, but really also in a scientific, mathematical, logical sense, depends on your ability to contradict yourself. If that's where nuance lives. Life is a gray area. If everything had to be there, and then this brings us right back to digital. When you have nothing but zeros and ones, it's the combination of the zeros and ones. What happens in a computational flow state where a number in digital form of code is a 0 and a 1 at the same time, or in between those two states. And there's so many comparisons with quantum physics, etc. So essentially there's a lot more subjectivity, and there's so much mystery. And Wittgenstein was the king of mathematical logic. He was undisputed. Everyone at Cambridge worshipped him in the 1950s, and they were desperate to create a theory of everything. And he basically proved that's impossible. And he's famously said, whereof one cannot speak, one must pass over in silence. He became a mystic. And that's what caused me to become a mystic, because I was looking for, I've been searching, I've been having existential crises since I was a kid. The world never really made a lot of sense to me. And so I worked really hard studying these things. And basically what I'm trying to say is society vastly undervalues physical media when it comes to sound and music. And sound literally has the ability to create worlds, quite honestly. They're doing a lot of research now when it comes to the medical profession. They've used sonograms, for instance, for years. Sonar is also used in exploring space. And the reason certain types of bats are divine creatures is because they see with their ears. They are literally the ultimate musicians. They can map out the topography of an entire room or cave only with their ears. But that's how they see. So there's a famous philosophical paper. It's not a joke. It's a real high-level academic paper by Thomas Nagel called On Knowing What It's Like to Be a Bat. It's a paper about epistemology, which is the study of what we can know about what there is. And basically, he talks about how you can understand exactly how a bat processes information and how they quote-unquote see. But unless you are subjectively that bat, you can't really understand. Just more proof here that God is goth. And have some respect for DARPA. Don't view all advancements in technology that have benefited us have come from DARPA. I appreciate what they do. And they keep a lot of secrets for a reason, because, as I've quoted before, the famous poet Alexander Pope said, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Drink deep or taste not the Pierian spring. And so there's a lot of deep, profound levels to my music and what I do. And before I went to school formally for music, I really deeply studied all these things: mathematical logic, mysticism, and I live like a monk for a reason, because the people who are trying to show you how to make a quick buck as a musician, they may be doing that in order to survive, but they don't really understand that music literally is life. Your heartbeat is literally an acoustic drum. That's what it is, literally. So God is goth, and this has been a public service announcement from your local darkwave musician, wizard, magician, guitar overlord, etc. Cheers.